We surveyed 5 factories regarded as typical, and I interviewed workers from all over Jakarta.
You work a 24-hour shift with just a couple of breaks, and then 2 hours later you start another shift. So in effect you work a 36-hour shift.
Saya kerja long shift tuh dari jam 7.30 sampai pagi lagi 7.30, pas terakhirnya sore jam 18.30.
Are you given any choice?
Nggak bisa.
What would happen if you refused to do this 24-hour shift?
Ya mungkin ada hukuman, tapi belum pernah menolak sih. Jadi takut aja.
On these long 24-hour shifts, do you recall what labels you were packing?
Kebanyakan Gap sama Olefy.
Do any of the people from the Gap company ever visit your factory?
Sering.
Do they ever ask you about or investigate the working conditions, your working conditions?
Dulu pernah ada tuh, tapi di personal itu anaknya tuh udah dikontak duluan gitu, udah nggak boleh ngomong yang salah gitu, harus sesuai omongan dari personalia.
What did they tell you to say?
Ya misalkan nggak bilang lembur longsip, terus pokoknya tidak boleh membuka rahasia perusahaan, tidak boleh menjelek-jelekan perusahaan.
This is what the Gap company calls a code of conduct. In response to criticism, famous global brands like Gap have come up with these codes. They say the idea is to set standards and protect workers, but how effectively is it enforced?
You have to come to Indonesia to really realize what codes of conduct means, and that it is almost useless to exercise or to implement code of conduct here in this country, because this government is always campaigning cheap labor here in Indonesia to attract the foreign investment, and codes of conduct cannot do anything about that. And because Indonesian workers is already very poor, and the rate of unemployment here is very, very high, so that people will work whatever kind of work they have, or how much they paid, they will still work.
The Gap company stipulates a maximum working week of 60 hours. It says workers may refuse overtime without any threat of penalty.
Are there people who do extraordinary shifts, like much more than 12 hours, even up to 24 hours?
Ada, kemarin QC juga ya, finishing itu dari jam 8 sampai jam 12 malam. Dari jam 12 malam karena dengan alasan ini mesti diekspor. Kondisi mereka berdiri, dari jam 8 sampai jam 12 itu berdiri, nggak ada duduk.
16 hours standing?
Iya.
Is that common?
Kalau ekspor yang ini, ekspor harus selesai, targetannya tanggal sekian, mesti.
Is the Gap Code of Conduct displayed in the factory?
Pasang sama sekali, bahkan peraturan perusahaan pun tidak ada yang dipasang di tingkatan pabrik.
Nggak ada. Nggak usah kode etik. Peraturan di dalam perusahaan itu nggak pernah dilihatin dengan kami, apalagi kode etik dari suatu barang.
These boxer shorts were made in one of the factories we investigated. Before we left London, we bought a pair at a Gap store in Oxford Street for £8. Out of that £8, an Indonesian worker gets less than 4 pence. It's the same for running shoes that sell here for £100. Out of that £100, a worker gets around 40 pence. That wouldn't even buy the laces.
Ya kami kaget, bener-bener ya. Oh ternyata kami dalam satu celana ini kami bisa menguntungkan pengusaha begitu banyak, apalagi ribuan celana. Sehari minimal kami harus menghasilkan 3.000 celana. Itu minimal.
Last year, the chief executive of Gap earned more than $5.5 million, the profits of Gap were $1.38 billion, and this is typical of many companies. In order to protect the workers in this film, we have not named the factories we investigated. In Indonesia, as in other countries which have sweatshop economies, workers who speak out face the danger of victimization from contractors and violence from anti-trade union forces. Dita Sari, a trade union leader, was herself imprisoned and tortured.
Codes of conduct must be monitored by trade unions. How could you monitor codes of conduct if trade unions is still weak, if the police is surrounding their activists, and if they're facing repression whenever they operate?
We asked the Gap company for an interview, but they declined, saying it was unfair not to identify the factories as they couldn't verify our evidence. We sent them a list of questions and they supplied this statement. Gap says it employs one of the most comprehensive factory monitoring programs in their industry. For some manufacturers, our standards are too tough and we refuse to do business with them. We prefer to work with them to fix the problem. We can't force them to comply.
One of the things that we can do to take action in support of better conditions for people in developing countries is when we buy anything, ask the retailer where this product comes from, under what conditions it's produced. Write to the company that made the product and say you want assurances that this comes from a factory that treats its workers well, that gives its workers rights to be able to form trade unions, etc. And these are some very basic ways in which we can act as informed consumers.
I'm not afraid to bend my back. I'm not afraid of dirt. But how I fear the things I do for lack of honest work.